I am reading a book by somebody that lived in the 1800s, and he had something so good to say that I want to share it with you all. So, the book is by somebody named Napoleon Hill, and he's talking about success and how to be successful in life and increase your wealth and things like that. And it's about success tips. So, I got to this one page and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I've got to share it with my group, share it online. So, it says, most women have a very keen sense of intuition, but many women don't always allow themselves to be guided by that sense of intuition. They very often override it. When they do, they generally get into trouble. So I want you to think back. Did you have gut feelings about something in your life, particularly a relationship? Right? Did you have gut feelings about a relationship that you knew in your gut, or you thought in your gut, or he's using the word intuition, that something was off or it wasn't right? Did you continue in that relationship or did you stop it? So he's saying most women actually have a very keen sense of intuition or their gut feeling. And I would agree with that. I would say that we do have a strong gut feeling, and a lot of times it does give us very good information that we should pay attention to. But he goes on to say many women don't always allow themselves to be guided by that sense of intuition. So not necessarily they don't know how to do it maybe, but they are not allowing themselves, right? And why? He's saying here's the why of why they're not doing that, why they're not listening to their intuition or their gut feeling, right? It's because they very often override it. So not only are they not listening to this feeling inside of them, right? Maybe you're doing this too. Maybe you're not listening to that gut feeling you have. You're not listening to your intuition. You know it's there, but instead of listening to what it's trying to tell you, you're in fact overriding it, meaning you're plowing through anyways, right? Or you're continuing with the relationship anyways. So they very often override it. Can you relate to that? I would love to hear in the comments if you relate to this or not. So it's not just that you necessarily don't know or don't have that feeling. You do have that feeling. You just justify not listening to it, right? So it might be that you're overriding it because maybe there's a physical attraction and you are feeling lonely and you want to be in a relationship, and you want to have closeness with somebody, and you want to have somebody that is like your companion, like, there for you, that can help you in your loneliness, right? So that might be a reason why you're overriding your intuition. It might be because of the physical closeness, the physical relationship, right? Another reason that you might override this feeling is because maybe you don't like the judgment from other people of not being in a relationship. And so you continue in the relationship even though you really think it's not right, okay? And I have an example of this. Somebody recently was telling me that people told her that she was nitpicking too much. Like when she was dating, she was nitpicking too much. And she was telling guys no when everybody else saw that this looks like a great guy. This seems like it could be a great relationship, right? But she was not following that. She was just like, no, it doesn't seem right to me or whatever. And so sometimes you might get pushback from other people when you're actually following your intuition, you're following your gut feeling. And I actually experienced this as well. I had somebody, I think, when I was dating, think that I was nitpicking too much and that I was just, why wouldn't I continue in a relationship with this person that I had gone out with, or this person that I had met because they seemed like they were great. But in my gut, in my intuition, I knew that there were certain things that were not there, that I had already previously done the work of figuring out exactly what I want, what I'm looking for. And I knew that this particular relationship would not meet that. And so it might be that you are wanting to follow your intuition, but you're being influenced by other people to stay in the relationship. And so you are kind of doing the opposite of what I was talking about, the nitpicking. You're kind of staying in the relationship because other people around you are telling you this is a good relationship, this is a good thing for you to continue. And there is some discernment there and some wisdom there that I can help clients with in figuring out, are they being too nitpicky? Do they need some wisdom? Is this a good relationship to pursue or not? So, are you overriding your intuition? So we talked about maybe it's a physical thing that is making you continue to stay in the relationship, right? Maybe it's influence from other people, right? That's making you stay in the relationship. Maybe it's that you have been in the relationship for so long, or you have entangled things in the relationship that maybe it's physical intimacy that you've entangled with this person. Maybe it's that you have your families now entangled already. Perhaps that was too soon. Maybe it's to the point of you're already sharing things like finances, or maybe you're living together or something like that, and you've entangled yourself with this person, right? Thinking that that was a good thing, but deep down in your gut, you know that this is not the relationship for you. And so you're overriding that gut feeling, you're overriding that intuition because there's so much invested now. There's so much that has been intertwined with this person that it's like, where do I even begin to back out of this? Where do I even begin to like pull apart from this, right? And so that's another reason why you might be overriding your intuition, is because of the entanglement that you've created with this other person. The other thing might be, maybe you don't live together, or maybe, you know, your finances are separate, maybe family hasn't met each other and things like that, but it might be that you've just spent so much time with this person that you kind of just feel like, well, you know, I've already dated this person so long. I've already invested this much time. I've already invested these emotions. You know, maybe you've been with them for 6 months. Maybe you've been with them for 2 years. But you're telling yourself that you've invested so much time that it's better for you to just stay than it is to pull back, right? Evaluate what you really want. Is this relationship actually what you really want? And evaluate what your gut feeling is telling you. And it might be that you're overriding your gut feeling just because of the amount of time you've put into a relationship. And so I want to help you to not override your intuition. I want to help you to listen to that gut feeling and see, is it telling you something that is wise, right? It talks in the Bible a lot about how we need to be discerning. We need to have wisdom. Wisdom comes from above. And so it can be a conversation with God on that too, of, is this a situation where I need to listen to my gut intuition? Am I trying to override it? And what are going to be the effects of that? And then the next line he said after that was, when they do, meaning when they do override it, they generally get into trouble. So I want you to think of, have you been dating somebody in your life, or been in a relationship in your life where you did exactly this? You overrode your intuition and it led to trouble. So did you follow your gut, follow your intuition, and it led to a lot of good things? Or did you override your intuition and it got you into trouble? And I would agree with him that more often than not, probably when we override it, we get ourselves into trouble. So I want you to evaluate whether you do that or not, or whether that's been a pattern in your life. I will say, in my life, when I was dating my now husband, Johnny, my gut intuition told me that this was a potentially good relationship. And honestly, at the beginning, I was really unsure about the relationship. I was like, do I want to be in this relationship? Do I think it would be good to date him? You know, we weren't in a close relationship at the beginning, but in the beginning, when I was just thinking like, should we date? Should we not date? You know, I was thinking, is this good for me to go on a date with him? Is it good for me to continue in this relationship? And my gut feeling was telling me, actually, yes, because I did not have any red flags going on, right? I saw green flag after green flag after green flag, and I had done the work of learning how to evaluate all of that. And so my gut intuition in this relationship was telling me, yes, continue. And I was very clear in hearing that leading. I was very clear in following what I was feeling. And probably that was given by God, right? Probably it was the Holy Spirit letting me know, yes, this is a good, safe relationship for you to continue in. So if you enjoyed this quote, and if it made sense for things in your life, I would love to hear about your story. You can either send me a message, you can drop it in the comments below. If you need help with this, if you are somebody where you've said, oh yeah, I do sometimes know that I shouldn't be in a relationship or shouldn't be dating this person, but I'm just doing it anyways because of XYZ, and you're overriding your intuition, you're overriding that gut feeling, then I want you to book a call with me so that we can talk about that. We can, unentangle what are those things that are causing you to override your intuition. And this can lead you to having better relationships and finding the relationship that you have always wanted. So if you're interested in that, you can say down below in the comments that you'd like my link to book a call with me, and I'd love to help you with that. So let me know what you thought of this quote today. I'd love to hear it.